Hello and welcome to Midnight Guard Gaming. I'm your host Mid, and we are back playing Battletech. So, okay, headphone. Oh, gotta mute my other mic here real quick. Hold on. Knew I forgot something. I did not mute my speakers on my other machine that I monitor the stream with. Okay. Anyway, we're back. Hope you're all having a great day. Last night I finished the story campaign, and we went through. Yeah, there was like a lull where, because I wanted to watch the end credits and see all the thank yous and everyone who was involved with it. And after that, we had the final little bit with wrapping up the campaign and basically saying, yeah, the map is unlocked for you, the star map, and they gave Lady Arano gave me her Lost Tech Atlas, which I promptly stowed because I'd be like, I don't want to have to mess with it at this moment. So I then went through and was figuring out what I wanted to do in the future with this group. So what I did last night was, because of my OCD was getting the better of me. Let's go to mech base. That's the proper place to go. Double check, make sure everything's running okay. Okay, everything's good. All right. My OCD got the better of me, and I had to switch around my mechs, basically get them all in order because there's gaps between them, and it was driving me crazy. I even refitted some of them, so because I forgot early on that my Lost Tech Highlander did not have maximum armor, so my other Highlander was actually better armored than it. So I increased its armor to max to mirror the other Highlander, and then I actually had dropped the LRM 20 down to an LRM 15 and swapped out, got a better SRM 6, I believe. And then I figured out in my mind how I want to run cockpit mods and gyros in the future. So any of my brawler type mechs are going to have the injury resistance cockpit mods. My scout mech, so that's Decker, he's going to have a rangefinder for increased spotting distance. And then his gyro is actually going to be one that increases the difficulty for others to hit him. Because I'm thinking scout, I want to make sure that he has as much mobility and defense as possible in his movement and can spot people from as far off as possible. My missile boat, because in each lance that I plan to make, I'm going to have a missile boat, a scout, and then 2 brawlers. Or attackers or strikers or whatever you want to call them. The missile boat, I'm going to have the cockpit mod's always going to be comm system. That way I get +2 morale or whatever it is every turn. So adding that onto the standard +1 morale I get every turn, I'll instead get +3. So that'll help me kind of build my morale back up relatively quickly. Excuse me. So yeah, the way I'm going to do cockpit mods is injury resistance are going to go in my 2 like strikers / attackers / brawlers. Rangefinders are going to go in the scout mech, and comm systems are going to go in my LRM boat, and that's going to kind of be standard throughout as I develop my other 2 lances. Gyros, yeah, I'm going to give the increased hit defense or whatever, basically increasing the difficulty to hit them, will go to my scouts. And then I just was like, oh well, this -30% stabilizer damage is pretty cool, so I'll just use that on Mid's Highlander. Going back to glitch, I made some slight modifications to her loadout as well. Yeah, her gyro, because I'm like, oh, I'm just going to throw a +2 melee hit in hers, because it's like, Why not? It should be fun. These are the ones I'm going to experiment with gyros on. But she gets +3 injury resistance because she got hit a lot throughout the campaign. I did switch hers where she had 2 LRM-10s and then an LRM-6 in the arm. I've now swapped that where I just have an LRM-15 in the arm and then an SRM-6 and an SRM-4 in her torso to give her some increased close range damage. And then I made sure she got the 3 best medium lasers that I have, which have +10 damage on them. She still has the 2 heat sinks double heat sinks I gave from Mid's Highlander and the PPC plus with the 15 stability damage increase. So yeah, just a slight modification to her setup. She'll no longer have the 2 LRM launchers, just a single. Because I'm trying to be more efficient with the tonnage on these. Where they can still do the bombardment indirect fire capabilities with their LRMs and assist with Behemoth when she's firing hers. Didn't change anything on Behemoth, really. She still has the comm system, and I don't think I have a gyro for her yet. Come on. Really slow. Alright, there we go. Yeah, she still has the comm system that gives +2 morale gain a turn. Center torso, yeah, I don't have anything. I'll move that one of the heat sinks out when I figure out what sort of gyro type of thing I'm going to throw in there. Decker's Grasshopper, yeah, I just put the rangefinder in, took out the cockpit mod, or the injury resistance cockpit, and put the rangefinder in. And yeah, his gyro is +2 hit defense, so it'll make him harder to hit, hopefully. What was... Oh yeah, Mid's Highlander, I have the -30 stability damage taken. And then I threw in the arm for the time being because I pulled 2 single heat sinks out. Because he was so heat neutral, I was like, well, can I do something different with this? And I started looking at my mods. I was like, oh, I have an arm mod that can actually increase his melee stability damage. So I'm like, I'll throw that in for 2 tons, and I'll see if my heat's under control. I may just keep this in here, since it would probably be more useful than 2 additional heat sinks that aren't really doing anything. So just keeping my options open. But yeah, that's how my primary lance is set up, and I do intend to, hopefully tonight as I play through the evening, I'll figure out how I want to configure my next lance, and I want to start using my other pilots. So that would be Meadowlark, Medusa, Trucker, and Tapper. They're going to be my Bravo lance, my second lance. So that'll be 1 medium and 3 heavies I'm going to go for. I have also thrown around the idea of having a 5th mech for each lance, just as sort of an optional one. Like maybe for the second lance I'm going to make up, since it's going to be like 1 medium and 3 heavies, I might throw like just an assault mech as an option that they can use if I feel like kind of changing some stuff up. Make it more like, okay, 1 assault, 2 heavies, and 1 medium. And I might do something similar for the third lance. I might do, instead of 1 light and 3 mediums, I may do 1 light, 2 mediums, and 1 heavy. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, my 4 pilots that I've had for a long time, the non-Kickstarter ones that I've not used yet, I think that their XP is pretty much maxed out from what I can get from the simulation pods. So I'm just waiting to spend their skill points until I actually use them, because I don't want to be burdened with the additional cost every month of what I'm going to have to pay them. Because right now my top pilots are getting paid $54K a month each, where these ones it's like 20K, 31, 18. So combined, there may be about the equivalent of 2 of my other pilots, all 4 of them, so maybe a little less. So that's what I'm going to keep in mind. So as far as contracts go, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. I kind of want to get out of restoration space. So I think I might travel over to the Taurian Concordat, because that's probably the closest faction that I can get to, because I want to kind of start working on their reputation. Since I have like indifferent and 3 with them. My goal is to get all of my reputations up to max, although I don't know how I'm going to get contracts for the Lyrian Commonwealth and the Draconis Combine, because we don't really have access to that part of the star map, because that's way far north of where we're at. That's on the northern side of the star map, way off of the northern edge of the star map. So I'm curious. I'm guessing that there are going to be the random contracts in some areas for them, but these two, I don't think I'm going to be able to get much reputation, or it'll be super slow. But I figure, yeah, I'm going to head over the Taurian Concordat. So let's look at the star map and see the closest route we can get to. So I was thinking of just maybe starting down here and then working my way north up to their more populated ones, and then maybe work my way across like the Federated Suns area, get into the Capellan Confederation, and then over into the Free Worlds League. The other option was go straight across to the Magistracy of Canopus, because I already have some rep with them. And they don't have a ton of systems. That's 2, 4, 6, 7 systems, really. 8 systems. And they all look like they're about 4 skulls, which is not bad. That'll be good for my current lance makeup. 3.5, 4. But I figured maybe just stick around there taking jobs in that area and then work my way up into the Free Worlds League, because those are ones that are 4 skulls and less, I think. Oh, there's some 5 skulls. But yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, a lot of these areas are going to be 4 and 5 skulls. So I think it might just be closer to go over here to the Taurian Concordat. Because that's going to be, wow, 28 days to get there. Sheesh. What travel contracts do we currently have? Oh, I could have looked on the star map at those. There is a travel contract here to Itram. So that I could just kind of follow where they're going and work my way that way, because they'll probably keep pointing a certain direction. And if it gets me close to a border, it'll be easy to pop across. So yeah, I think I might do that just to save money. And then I don't really have to think about it as hard. So let's do that. So let's look at those contracts, because I believe they're both in Itram. Oh no, just the one is in Itram. I got 2 locals that are a battle and an assassinate. I might do the assassinate here just because it's a 5 skull, so I'm pretty damn sure it's going to be a lot of assaults. That might be, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Let's do this one. So let's do hard target, the Arano Restoration. Assassinate's polar, so that's nice. 4/18 max salvage or 840 KC bills. I'm going to go max salvage because it's a 5 skull mission. An elite mech warrior has been deployed to take command of pirate forces in this system. We need a skilled mercenary force to remove this mech warrior before they can reach their command. While they are only lightly escorted, every down mech will help our cause. So there will be an additional, there will be a bonus for complete destruction of the target supporting forces. Additionally, the mech warrior's command may send out an escort unit to meet them. Expect enemy reinforcements once you engage. The pirate mech warrior is headed to a major military compound on Cormadir, where they will take command of a company-sized mech force and become untouchable. They're en route to the encampment, but until they arrive, they're vulnerable. It's kind of interesting. There's a untouchable pirate company lance active on the capital world of the Arano Restoration. So I know it's just throwing random parts together. So if you pick it apart too much, then yeah, it's not going to make much sense. So. All right, so let's negotiate this. We're just going to do max salvage. Because, yeah, actually, let's do 314. We can get a full mech then if need be. And we're going to be at least pulling in a little bit of cash. Because, yeah, it's a pretty drastic drop off from 267 to 76. Almost 200k for that one chunk of salvage where it's just going to go up 4 pieces. Although I can sell salvage and make a lot of money off of that. So, yeah, I'm just gonna stick with that. Let's just do max salvage. I can eventually go through and clean out my mechs and stuff once I have tons of, which I will figure out I will never eventually probably ever use. All right, so we'll just take 4 of 18 and let's take this contract. We might have to redo all of our yep, because I had moved stuff around. So we want Decker in that slot. We want Glitch in the last slot. Let's throw... Nope, we want Glitch in the second slot. We want Behemoth in the last slot. Get Behemoth Stalker over here. This is Glitch's Highlander. This is Mid's Highlander. And this is Decker's Grasshopper. I did throw around the idea of... Oh yeah, I did change something on Decker's Grasshopper. So I used to have the large laser in his CT. But because I wanted to put a gyro in there, I had to drop down to a single slot energy weapon. So I moved a medium laser off of his right arm, I believe it is. Where is... Yeah, off his right arm. I moved the large laser off of his right arm into his CT and put the large laser on his right arm. I did contemplate using one of the ER large lasers, but I'm like, I don't really want to use it on this. He's not going to fire his weapons as often as the other mechs. I'm contemplating throwing that on maybe a K2 and use that as like a super long range sniping type of one, or some energy based like brawler or something. So anyway, another minor tweak there. So, but yeah, it's nice now because Mid's got his armor all upped, because he was like 2 tons below on armor compared to Glitch. I realized that the couple contracts before the end of the story campaign that I was like, man, Mid is just getting like whittled down way faster than Glitch was. So yeah, this will be a good shakedown to see what Mid's weight or heat management's going to be like, minus the 2 heat sinks I took off, and to see how well that rangefinder mod works on Decker, since it should increase his spotting distance by 50 meters, which is pretty substantial, 50 meters. So I want to get the 100-meter one, because that thing's going to be insane then. I should be able to spot from really far off then. Okay. Yeah, and I think I might be sticking to more of the, be more picky on some of the contracts, where I might go for more battle and assassinate type ones, where they're straight up. And because I'm just, the escort missions I don't like. The AI gets so weird on both sides of the escort mission, they just get frustrating to play. I could do, I mean, capture base or defend base are kind of fun, or ambush convoy, those are kind of fun, so I probably will do those. But I think I'm just going to avoid like the escort missions from now on. I don't enjoy them. Maybe when I switch to lighter mechs I might, if I'm into a easier area, they could be more fun. So all right, let's begin.
Command interface initiated.
Commander Intel says the target and their escorts will be moving through this area. Orbital recon shows a group of military units in the vicinity. We believe that's the objective. Take them out and then head for the evac zone. All right.
You think we'll see bears?
Lay of the land. Okay, so we're at a kind of an angle. I really like this terrain. Lots and lots of hills and cover. I really like this. Okay, so this is pirate reinforcements. This is supporting pirate forces, and this is the elite pirate mech warrior. Okay, so this is going to get interesting quick. I'm either going to rush up and take care of this sporting lance first, or try to circumvent them entirely and head over ooh. I can get up here on this road, and that will make travel quite easy to get through here. I'm contemplating heading over and trying to take out the reinforcements first, because it's with this big mountain here, it's going to take a while for the elite pirate mech warrior target to actually get there, because I don't think he's going to come right over this mountaintop, because that's right on the edge of the map. He's probably going to make his way down here and around, and that's going to give me quite a bit of time to take these guys out. To a lesser extent, these guys are the supporting forces are going to get there pretty quick too. It's all about trying to dictate when the various engagements are going to start, because if I go for the supporting mechs first, both the reinforcements and the leader are going to head for me at the same time, and then I'm going to have to deal with both of them. Where this might give me at least a few turns to deal with each of the forces in succession. I do like the ground over here, because there's some really nice valleys and such. That will make it really a big pain in the butt for these guys, because they can rush along this road to a certain extent to get to us, and that's fine. Yeah, I think I might actually go up here and engage these guys, because having this ridge line, it's going to give me some natural cover, and it's like a series of ridge lines of crests, and there's lots of woods and stuff to hide in. So yeah, I think I'm going to do that. I'm really close to this side. I could just head right up here and get in position and then trigger this off. So yeah, let's do that.
Roger.
Just run everybody up there as fast as we can.
Move order received.
If I were planning an ambush, this is where I'd put it.
Thank you, Peanut Gallery. Okay, so let's get... Yeah, I don't want to go too far this direction, because I don't want to trigger them too early. And I don't want to go across rough rough terrain until I absolutely need to. Alright, that'll work.
Moving to position.
And we'll get you into there. Oh, enemy contract.
Warning! Enemy contact!
80-ton vehicle, so Shrekker Demolisher. As long as we can keep them from cresting, we're going to be good. Okay, so let's get...
I copy.
So Glitch spotted them first.
Mech warriors, show them what you got.
Alright, so let's get Decker moving to target him with the sensor lock, and then we'll just start bombarding him. Yeah, they're gonna move last. Actually, let's reserve. No, let's just move him.
What's up, boss?
We're gonna jump you here. Use your sensor lock. Oh, another 80-ton vehicle. Alright, we're gonna take the closer one. Yeah, it's a demolisher. Fully armed, fully armored. Ah, the reinforcements are starting to move already down the road. Alright, so this could get hairy pretty quickly. I'm going to get these guys moved up here, so let's move Behemoth up. You're going to go through some rough terrain, which I'm not especially keen on. Hopefully you won't come under fire anytime soon. Alright, let's fire everything. Just gotta start shredding the armor on this thing to get it softened up. Some good solid hits. Okay. Let's get Glitch next. Yep, we're just gonna start. We'll move through the rough terrain this time because I think we're gonna be safe from taking any stability damage. since they can't spot us at this moment.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and mid.
Engaging target.
Nice. I think we're going to be able to destroy him next turn. Okay, he's glitching out and not knowing where the heck we are, apparently. Yeah, fortunately, they cannot move very quickly since they're so heavy. He hadn't had a chance to move yet, Pink Freud. Yeah, he was just, it was his initiative phase. He was slowest, well, slower on the initiative phase. But I have noticed when you start engaging, especially vehicles with outline of sight where you're indirect firing them over ridges, they tend to glitch out. They just kind of mill back and forth and don't usually try to engage you. So in the case of demolishers, that's actually in Shreks. It's a good thing that happens because it makes it easier to get rid of them. Because they hit like Mack trucks. Most of the time, I'd say a good 90% of the time, they kind of glitch out and they don't know how to respond. In mechs as well, if you can keep them from like out of line of sight with them, it actually you can get a lot of indirect fire on them and soften them up before they finally figure out where you're at. Because I was fighting last night, I had like almost, I want to say it was like 3 full lances of heavies and assaults, and there was just one little ridge line between us, and they were totally confused where we were at, all milling about, and I just took them down one after another with LRM barrages. And I think it was near the end when there was only about 4 of them left that 2 of them finally crested the hill, one of the hills, and found us. So it was quite funny. Alright, so let's see. Get Decker. Not going to move you. We're just going to sensor lock since he's here.
Sensors locked on.
I think we'll be able to finish him off this time. He's in the... Is he in the tree line? No, he is not. Alright, let me move him into the tree line just so he has a little bit of cover if need be. Damage reduction, more like. I think it's the reinforcements moving over here. Wait, yep, they were moving. I crack up over that. You just see the X moving, so you're like, okay, they're in this area somewhere moving towards me. I am loving this game. Actually, last night I just finished the story campaign. I've been playing it for about a month now. I got about 100 hours in. You could probably finish the campaign in a lot less time than that, but I took my time. It is a lot of fun. I'm actually going into the open-ended mercenary campaign now because the storyline's done. So I'm just taking contracts, moving around, working on reputation, building up more cool mechs and configurations and all that stuff. But yeah, I highly recommend this game. It is a lot of fun. If you're a fan of like turn-based strategy games like XCOM and things like that, if you're not, then it might not be fun for you. But if you like turn-based games, then it's a lot of fun. And having like the whole mercenary company simulator that you do outside of all this is a lot of fun because you're like, you get to tinker around with your mechs, throw different weapon loadouts on them, training your pilots, recruiting new pilots and stuff like that, developing your pilots because they can get different skills that are used differently in combat. Like Decker, he has a sensor lock ability. He's my scout, so his abilities are sensor lock, so he can lock onto targets that we don't have visuals on. He has, I want to say, evasive maneuvers, so he can actually move it. either before or after firing if he hasn't moved already. So most mechs, it's like you can move and then fire, or if you fire, you can't move. In his case, he can actually fire then move if he wants to. And he also has some increased evasion because I'm using him as a scout. My assaults and stuff have like multi-target, so they can pick up to 3 targets to fire it simultaneously. Ability called Breaching Shot, which reduces like some of the guarded like protective statuses that mechs can get to ignore them. So yeah, there's a lot of fun little nuances that you can tweak and you can get an advantage, and it all adds up. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it if you are into these sorts of games. I backed it on Kickstarter, so I was super excited for when it finally came out because I was like really looking forward to a game like this for a long time. I was still playing other turn-based games, but this was the one I really was looking forward to. Okay, so I'm going to move Behemoth up next. She is my missile boat with her 2 LRM-10s and 2 LRM-15s.
On my way.
And she should be able to finish him off.
Firing a full throttle.
Well, good. I hope if you get it, I hope you enjoy it. Cool. 1 vehicle down.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
And you can get some nice little indicators as you play the game of figuring stuff out that you can't see. Like, okay, the supporting pirate forces, I killed 1 vehicle and it's 25% gone. So I know there's going to be 3 other vehicles for this objective. The other thing is you can see what initiative phase that they're in, and you can kind of figure out what types of mech, like what classes of mechs you're going to be fighting. If they start in initiative phase 4, they're typically a light mech. 3, they're typically a medium. 2, they're typically a heavy, and 1, they're typically an assault. And for vehicles, it goes like, I think it's 3 is a light vehicle, 2 is a heavy, medium vehicle, and 1 is a heavy vehicle.
Waiting for orders.
Okay, so can't really see anyone, so we're just gonna start moving up and positioning. Brace. Just trying to see where these X's. Okay, so they're moving the rest of those forces. Let's get mid moved up here. I don't want to crest that hill just yet, so we'll put him in there. And brace. There. Oh, can't see him yet, so alright.
Standing by.
Alright, I'm gonna move him up just a bit, see if I can get something on sensors.
I copy.
Yep, there is a mech. 20-tonner. So another cool thing is when you get sensor contacts, if they're really far out and you might not be able to see anything besides it's a mech or it's a vehicle, but as they get closer, you'll see stuff like, oh, it's a mech and it's 20 tons. And this is an 80-ton vehicle. For me, since I've kind of memorized what vehicles or mechs are in the game, I typically will know, like, oh, a 20-ton mech. There's only one 20-ton mech in the game currently, so I know this is a Locust. It's a light, very lightly armored, and I could probably take it down in 1 volley. So I'm not too worried about that. Where like this 80-ton vehicle, it's going to be one of 2 vehicles, a Demolisher or a Shrek PPC carrier. All right, so I'm going to sensor lock the Locust because he probably already moved, and I got to. Okay, I stripped 2 evasion charges off of him. Oh, another mech contact down here. That's an 80-ton. So that is. That could be, I think, it's either a Victor or an Awesome. I can't remember which. I think it probably will be an Awesome. Because I can't remember if Victors are 80 or 85 tons. I think Victors are 80, and I'm positive Awesomes are 80 as well. And you can see, like, yeah, he's an assault because he's moving in the last phase. Alright, so let's get Behemoth firing. The nice arc for indirect fire. Oh, this poor little guy's gonna die horribly. Possibly from this barrage, but I doubt it. Nope, just shredded his armor really good. And a 60-ton mech. Nope, that's a 80. Okay, so 280 tons. So this little yellow bar under him that you can see there, that's stability. When you fill that up, like, yeah, I hit him one more time with something that does stability damage, and it's gonna knock him down, and it'll injure the pilot, and then it knocks him back in the initiative phase, and it just does all sorts of manipulation and messes with them. So, all right, so I'm gonna move Glitch over into the tree line.
I read you, Commander. Moving out.
Yeah, it's a lot of little things that if you use the terrain to your advantage, the different aspects of it, like forests will actually give you damage reduction. Avoid things like the rough terrain because it makes it easier for stability damage. You get increased stability damage when you take it. But yeah, it's all these little tiny things, but it just makes it like so diverse in the game mechanics. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm gonna just fire my LRM launcher at them and finish knocking them down. Okay, so he's got 2 open structures now.
Another hit like that and you're toast.
And knocked down. And pilot injured. They always take an injury when they get knocked down. Comes the Demolisher, Shrek, whatever. Alright, we're just going to keep him mid right here, and we will fire. And oh yeah, when you knock him down, you can do a called shot then. So in his case, I'm going to mouse over and look at what he has. So he's only got about 56 damage to his CT, and I can finish him. Pilot injuries. So when you start off, I think you only have 3 that each of your pilots can take. If they take 3 injuries or their maximum injuries, then they're killed or knocked out of combat. So a good farming tactic, which is why I carry a lot of LRMs, is for the assault and heavy mechs, is you just keep knocking them down and you injure the pilot to take the entire mech intact out of play. That way when you get your salvage at the end, you can actually get a full mech if you negotiated for enough salvage. So yeah, it's an easier way for the big assault mechs and stuff that have tons and tons of armor on them, and they're really a pain to chew through all that armor, is if you just knock them down like 4 or 5 times or take out a side torso as well, you can kill the pilot without actually having to destroy the mech entirely. So so in his case, I have an LRM-15. I think I'm going to target his right torso because that only has a little bit left, and anything over that's going to transfer into his center torso. So I'd rather take that out. And nope, it spread too much. That's the disadvantage of LRMs. They spread a lot. Oh, another 80-ton vehicle. So once we finish that Locust, we'll focus on those 2 80-ton vehicles. Because I'm not sure how familiar you are with the Battletech, but these 2 vehicles, with what they can be, are extremely powerful if you do not take care of them as soon as possible. They can shred a mech in no time if you're not taking them out as fast as you can. They're actually more dangerous than a lot of the mechs that are on the field usually, because they can't be knocked down. It's harder. Okay, so you used to play a lot of MWO. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, you're aware of all the basic stuff. So you know that they actually use the mech models from MWO in this game. PGI actually let Harebrained Schemes use their mech models, so that saved them a bunch of development on modeling all the different mechs and stuff. So, oh, hey, thanks for the follow, man. Yeah, I mean they've kind of dumbed down their hardpoint system a little bit in this game, and you can pretty much put jump jets on everything. So it's kind of weird when you're like, hey, I've got jump jets on my King Crab or Atlas, which is like kind of bizarre, but you can do it if you want to. I haven't yet because I've got one Atlas. I haven't gotten a King Crab yet, so I have been really, really liking the Highlanders and the Stalker. Stalker's just great for a missile boat. Okay, so
Ready for orders.
we are going to back him up into the woods, and then we're going to sensor lock that Locust to strip off 2 of his evasion charges. Ah, yeah. I had fun with that one. I was like, yeah, I totally have to use the friggin' Galaxy Quest Sam Rockwell gif as Guy Flegman, because that movie's so friggin' funny. Okay, so I'm going to sensor lock him to remove 2 of his evasion.
I've got a sensor lock.
And movement is key in this game, where if you don't have... Oh, Victor, okay. Oh, he can spot someone. Oh, I think he can see mid.
Detected.
Yep, I think mid is up here. You can see him. Yep, okay. I'm going to have to move mid. But mid has a bulwark ability, so he's taking
Minimal.
only 50% damage while he's standing still, because he's kind of like gone into a defensive stance. But once I move him, he loses that until he stands still for an entire round. So, but other than like in the case of Decker, he has to actually move every turn to get evasion. Otherwise, he's a sit and duck. If he's standing still and people target him, he's going to get taken down relatively quickly compared to everyone else. Okay, so I'm going to probably move mid first. Actually, do I want to fire at them? Wow, we got 3 80-ton mechs over here. Wow. I think I'm going to move mid back here just to get him out of line of sight. Jump him into the trees. This way.
Engaging jump jets.
Because they might get confused, although I think they're just going to come right up this road towards us. So I might have to shuffle Behemoth around, get her back here, so she's not going to have her back exposed when they come around that side. But let's try to finish off this Locust first.
Engaging target.
I don't want to waste a precision strike on the light mech, so... Alright, took out one of his machine guns. He's really not much of a threat beyond being able to spot me.
Standing by.
Alright, so I'm going to start moving Behemoth out of that area.
Roger that.
And let's see if we can finish him off with my nice 50-tube volley here.
Acknowledged.
Yep, there we go. Yeah, that was overkill. He's got a leg in his cockpit left, basically. Oh, I've run into this in various missions. He was not part of any of the objectives. So he was just a random 20-ton light mech running around the map, which is bizarre. I've run into that like 3 or 4 other times, where everyone else is accounted for with an objective, or counts as an objective, where you get these random lights that are just there. So... alright, so
I hear ya.
glitch. I want to move Let's have you rotate in place. Get a good angle here. Brace. We're gonna go for the... Well, I think we could probably ignore those vehicles because they gotta get unconfused and get over 2 ridge lines before they'll do anything. So I think I'm gonna focus on this Victor and these other 2 mechs for the time being because they're gonna probably follow this road up here. Whereas these guys, they're gonna be confused and probably mill about here for another 3 turns before they make it over that hill, and then they'll probably mill about here for like 3 or 4 turns. So as long as I don't like expose myself to them, they probably won't see me. Although there is a third option besides a Shrek or a Demolisher. It could be an LRM carrier, which that's 3 LRM 20s, which are really, really bad. So I think I will focus on them, just because once I'm spotted by one of these guys, they could start shooting.
Yes, Commander.
All right, so let's do a sensor lock on you.
Got a lock.
And you are a Demolisher as well. Okay. You're done.
Hunkering down.
Okay, good. They're gonna mill about down here and forget there's a road here apparently, so that's good. I'm happy that's happening. The advantages of indirect firing is you just utterly confuse the AI a lot of the time, which I'm totally fine with. Alright, so let's get Behemoth here. Angle her that way. And let's
Locking in.
open up on that Demolisher. Well, I chewed through a good chunk of his front armor, so that's good. He might get smart enough to come up over this rise here, and if he does, this looks like it's rough terrain, so it'll be easy to knock him down. Alright, so let's do mid next. Yeah, you're fine there, so we're just gonna fire. Good, alright, so he's down.
Enemy unit destroyed.
So there's only 2 more left in that objective. So this 80 tonner and something else is floating around back here. Probably another vehicle, since it seems like it's all vehicles.
Waiting on you, Commander.
We're just gonna have you brace, Glitch.
Got it.
Although I probably should rotate Decker around so his back's not facing the ridgeline. Alright. Yeah, if you haven't seen much of the gameplay, when I'm done with this mission, I'll show you. I'll do a quick little run through of the ship interface and all the different stuff you could do outside of combat. Okay, so Decker, let's rotate you in place. And sensor lock. Oh, you're out of range. Just barely out of range. There's my sensor line. Okay, well, we're going to target this guy here. And it's another Victor. Okay, it's like everyone bring your AC-20 knight. Because if these are 3 Victors, they all have AC-20s, and I've encountered 2 Demolishers so far. Alright.
Receiving you.
We're just going to open fire on you.
Affirmative.
I think I got a head hit. No, yep, I did get a head hit. Good. Yes, it does. It takes away 2 of their evasion charges. So it's really nice when you're trying to get fast mechs, you can decrease how much evasion they have.
What can I do for you?
Alright, so... And every time you hit him, it removes another evasion charge. So the nice thing about my 2 Highlanders is only firing a single weapon. It utilizes breaching shot. So breaching shot will ignore guarded on a target. So when you see the little shield on him like this guy has, and it's blinking, he's guarded, but because it's blinking, it's showing that I'm going to ignore that. So I can bypass his nice little perk he's got.
Engaging target.
Okay, cool. Breach that side, which I want to do because I want to take out the side his AC-20's on. Oh, and there's that fourth vehicle out of that Lance. Although these guys, if they're all victors, they might decide to try to jump up here. Alright, so we got Decker again. I'm going to focus on him. Where's my sensor lock? There it is. Alright.
I've got a sensor lock.
You're good, so stick there.
Here.
Yep. They're confused. They're like, something's shooting at us from over this hill. How do we get by it? They don't go quite far enough to figure out that there's a road right here that leads right up to me.
Orders.
Alright, so let's see if we can finish off. Yeah, because that's where his AC-20 is, and I can get an ammo explosion if I blow up his right torso. I got max morale, so I'm actually going to do a precision strike, although it's not that precise with LRMs. I'm going to see if I can actually take out his side torso. So yeah, the morale system is pretty cool. It gives you access to these abilities, Precision Strike and Vigilance, where they take down so many points of your morale, which slowly builds back up over time, or when you kill things, it refills that bar. Oh, cool. Took out his AC-20. Awesome.
Scored a critical hit.
That is what I wanted. He's like, I'm gonna try to walk up this mountain. That's not gonna work.
Waiting for orders.
Yeah, the explosions are just really cool on this, and when stuff blows off of mechs and stuff like arms and all that. Alright, I've gotten through his CT.
Some more? Huh?
Now it's all internals. So ballistic ammo, weapons ammo is limited in this game, right? Yep. Yep, it is limited. So yeah, on my Stalker, I have 10 tons of LRM ammo because that's all I'm firing on it. I try to keep my LRM boat completely out of like the line of fire as much as possible because it has no close range weapons. Its whole purpose is to just knock stuff over and whittle away, chew away at its armor. Whereas, yeah, you're gonna end up, when you play the campaign, you're gonna get some lost tech because you'll get a Gauss rifle. You only get one, and you only get 2 tons of ammo for it, so you only have 16 shots. And if you lose any of that, you can't get it back. So, yeah, there's some lost tech stuff you can end up getting through this story campaign. I won't spoil when you get it, so yeah, this is why I really like this Highlander, because it has a Gauss rifle. And that thing hits like a friggin' Mack truck. I mean, it has really long range, and it does a lot of damage. So it basically will one-shot most light mechs. If you hit them in the CT, it'll kill them in one shot. So let's see. Let's do just attack. He hasn't been knocked down, but ooh, he's getting really worn away, so that's good.
Engaging target.
It's per drop. So between drops it reloads, but it's just you have like the ammo capacity slot, which is kind of weird. because I crack up, I'm like, Gauss rifles just use big slugs. They're not anything special, no propellant. It's like you machine a slug and you put it in the ammo hopper. So, but I understand because of how powerful they are, why they want to limit it. But yeah, all your armor, you don't have to pay for armor repairs. They automatically will repair all armor damage, but you will have to pay minor amounts of cash to replace like structure damage or if a weapon gets destroyed. But you end up with a bunch of salvage, so you pretty much can just yank a weapon out of storage and throw it on there, so it's super cheap. It's only if you take a lot of structure damage and lose like multiple limbs and weapon systems that it could get kind of pricey to repair a mech. But for the most part, most of my mechs get repaired for anywhere from 800 C-bills to 5,000, so it's not really too bad. Okay, so we're just gonna keep... Actually, he's in sensor range now. He's not as much of a threat, but I want to get this guy. He is a Shrek. Okay. Oh, and done.
Stabilizing and bracing. I've been sensor locked.
Uh-oh. They got missiles. They're going to start firing them now. Oh.
Sensors show more bandits.
Oh. They got LRMs. Okay, I'm going to have to start moving him around because he's going to take a lot of damage if he doesn't move.
Light damage, Commander.
So that, I think, is an awesome with LRMs. Because I don't think any of these Victors have LRMs on them. Because they would have fired if they did. So that's probably the 2 LRM 15 awesome. Alright, so let's do Behemoth. We're just going to attack that Shrek and try to take it out because 3 PPCs suck when you get hit by them. Ah, good. Penetrated his armor.
Waiting on you, Commander. Tell me what to shoot.
Yeah, and you can mouse over the different little statuses that things have to see what they do.
Knocked out a vehicle.
So in many missions, this is the exception to the rule, is a lot of the mechs that you co-op against might not be fully repaired. So you can get ones that only have 75% armor, 50% armor, or even 25% armor, which they're like, basically you can kill them super easy. You get that a lot with like pirates and stuff like that, where they just don't repair their mechs. So it's like, okay, we're going to throw an assault lance at you, but it's only going to have half the armor on it. So I always try to look and see if they're fully armored or if they're all damaged, because then it makes the engagement a lot different. So you run into a lot of damage mechs early on in the game, so, or in the lower difficulty areas. There is nothing I can target, so I'm just going to brace till next turn.
Stabilizing. Engaging coolant system.
Alright, Decker,
Receiving you.
we're going to have you... Oh, and if you want to build up evasion, jumping is the best way to do it. You get a lot of evasion from jumping. Otherwise, you have to run. If you're just walking, you don't get as much evasion. So I usually just have him jump around and sensor lock stuff like a madman. So, look for... Okay, he can get 5 evasion charges for jumping over here, which I'll do. He shed a little bit of his stability damage. I could use Vigilance to remove the rest of that stability damage if I wanted to, but I don't really feel like he's going to get hit again because he has a lot of evasion. Alright, so let's sensor lock. Oh, you're just out of range. Alright, let's go for this guy who's moved.
Sensors locked on.
And he is a Victor, I believe. Yep, another Victor. I think all three of these are Victors. Oh, he still got confused. He just needed to go a little bit further and he would have seen the road.
What's up, boss?
Alright. Oh no, that was the one I was damaging. Okay, we might be able to finish him off then.
Firing
Alright.
all weapons.
Unsteady. Alright, let's do mid-neck. Actually, let's do glitch.
Good to go. Special delivery.
Critted his SRM.
When I shoot you, you'll take it and like it.
So if he ever gets in range where he can, or line of sight where he can use that SRM, it's going to generate twice the heat. Or it'll generate more heat. I don't think it's twice, but it'll generate more heat than it normally does. So yeah, red is destroyed. Orange is, it's critted, so it's going to do, it'll generate more heat when fired. And he still has some SRM ammo, so okay. Alright.
Engaging target.
Okay, we are going to jump Decker again. We'll just keep jumping him back and forth. And sometimes if you get the height over a rise, you might get a quick glimpse of what mechs are what. You can see visuals on them for like a split second. Sensor lock. You are within sensor range now. We are going to sensor lock you.
Got a lock.
Yep, it's an awesome. It's probably the 2 LRM-15 awesome and 2 large lasers. Yep. Alright, so
Ready for orders.
got us a new target. Yep. 2 large lasers, 2 LRM-15s. Alright.
Firing full complement on.
Although I've used about half my missiles so far. Yeah, this is going to be the thing that's going to suck is when I start running out of LRMs. That's why I got to start trying to spread the damage around more, I think, just so I can chew through some armor. It's that whole balance of like, do I keep focusing on one mech or do I chew up the armor on a bunch of mechs?
I hear ya.
So she's got 10 volleys left on her LRM-15. Oh,
Roger that.
should be able to knock him over this time. Yep, knocked down. Cool. And pilot injury. Alright, so we're going to focus on that left torso because that'll take out half his weapons if we do that. I don't count the small laser as a weapon system because he's probably not going to get close enough to use it anytime soon. So yeah, we'll focus on the left torso, see if we can finish that off.
Target.
Get an ammo explosion or something. No. Chew the armor, chew the armor. Alright, so I gotta grab some more water. Give me 1 minute and I will be right back. So I'm gonna kill my camera and my mic for a second. Just gotta go fill up my water real fast. I'll be right back.